Welcome back to Self-Built. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite chest finishers that I have tried recently, and it's been so good. After you finish your normal chest exercise, make sure to do this at the end if you want to get an insane filthy pump. Now the finisher I'm talking about is what I've dubbed chest shrugs. I don't know what the official name is for it, but that's just what I'm gonna call it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this bar behind me set up with some bands, and I'm gonna have it be resisting against me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it below me, and I'm just gonna shrug my shoulders down. I'm not gonna be using any arms. I'm just gonna have a position that's comfortable for me. And all that I'm gonna be doing is this. Basically, you're just gonna be using your chest to push the weight, and you can do this in a couple different varieties. If you don't have a setup like this, you can use a normal flat bench bar, and you can go this way. There's not as much motion, but this is all you're doing. The reason I like to go decline is, if you think about it, look at how much range of motion I'm getting when I'm going up, and then I'm going down. I get a lot more range of motion as opposed to just that. It might seem a little goofy, but this is an exercise where you're focusing more on the squeeze at the bottom, and you're not so much worrying about how much weight you're pushing. That's why I'm going to be using bands on this. And as you try this out, you're going to notice that maybe the first set is a little simple, a little easy. You're going to be able to do quite a few reps, but as you go and do 2 or 3 sets of this, you're just going to get an insane pump in muscles that you normally don't use. There are a lot more of the smaller muscles that aren't the prime movers in your chest. So the biggest thing I realize after I do this is when I'm done and I try to flex just a small little, pop, 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 see what's going on in there. I can't. It kills those muscles. It just hits all the inside and just all the little guys that aren't those big movers to move those bigger weights. So it just annihilates everything that hasn't been hit. My favorite choice of resistance is power bands. You can see this is a pretty thick one that I'm using. I need it to be extra thick because I'm holding the bar weight and then we'll be pushing against it. So there's gonna be a lot of weight that it's gonna have to fight against. So these fatties are perfect for that. If you don't have this size, just add a couple of them together. You can add them and get a lot of strength out of it. And you just need to be able to hook it up somehow to your setup. So I'm just gonna hook it just like this. With it being such a fat band, it does take a little wiggling to get it to work. And then you just hook it right on here. Something really nice about having a Smith machine is you can have the weight the bar just waiting for you, and then you can get it all set just like that. And then I'll show you what it looks like. But again, you can do like a flat bench with weight, but this setup, you get a little extra range of motion, and it does hit a little bit different than just doing flat on. But just giving you some ideas if you don't have this setup. So getting in here is super easy. Just pick a width that you like. I like to go closer. You can go wider, but you will notice that if you go wider, you'll feel it a little bit more in the outside of the chest, whereas I feel it more overall and a little bit more on the inner if I go a little bit closer. So I'll just kind of get on top of it. Just get my arms in a comfortable position, and then I'll just push down with just my chest, just like that. Boom. And I'll show you a different angle, but I'm not standing straight up. I'm leaning over slightly, and I'm pretty close to the bar. It's almost in between a dip and a decline press, but for my body, it might be different for you. So you just want to play with the positioning and see what works best for you. But this is all you do, just boop. Doesn't look too terribly exciting. Might look a little funny, but this is something that feels really good. Now, just a reminder, the first set, it doesn't really wear you out a lot, but you're just focusing on that squeeze right here. And after you do your first or second set, you're gonna feel an awesome pump. And when I'm done with these, I just feel like when I'm raising my arm, just the outer chest is just so crazy pumped, and then I'm not able to do those little small flexes to bounce the pecs. It just annihilates really well. And I'll show you a different angle. I realize this is kind of a funny angle, but it helps demonstrate the angle that I'm at. So if I'm straight up, I'd be like this. So I'm taking a couple steps back, and then I'll have the bar pretty much touching me on my waist, and then I'll just push down with just the chest, just like that. And make sure to really squeeze at that bottom. And you're basically pushing with your chest. You're not really worrying about your arms or your shoulders. You're just keeping that stationary, and you're only using that chest to get that weight down. I realize not everyone's gonna have a setup like this, or maybe you go to a commercial gym. Another piece of equipment that I've used this same exercise for is the assisted pull-up machines. They've either got the pad that you kneel on that goes up, or you stand on that little metal bar that spots you. You can use either one of those because those pretty much go straight up and down. And what you can do is just fix yourself in that position and just use your chest to put those chest shrugs on, and you can get that same benefit. So you can try it whether you're at home or you're at the gym. This is something you definitely don't want to sleep on. You'll thank me later. That is it for this exercise video. If you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on this exercise. If you've tried it, or if you're gonna try it now and tell me what your thoughts are on it. You can see me on the Talk and the Gram. You can also get some self-built merch. And if you don't have any of these bands, I'll leave a simple description in the link below, some cheap, affordable, good ones that I use. And we'll see you next time on Self-Built.